Hi guys, and thank you for joining me for another video. Today I'm going to be cleaning out both of my hamsters' cages. So we have Polo, who's my male Russian dwarf and he lives in the paw hut cage, and then we also have Brick, my female Syrian, who lives in the detolf, and they're both a little overdue a cage clean, so I'm going to be doing them both today. I thought filming me doing them both would be a good opportunity to show you some of the products I'm using and kind of like the process of how I go through it. Also, before I get started, I recently bought a couple of things from the shop Happy Hamster House, and I've already opened everything, which is why the parcel is kind of a mess, but I just put it all back in here until I was cleaning the cages. And here is everything. So we have these little boredom breaker carrot chews. So these are to refill a certain like a treat holder. There it is, look, carrot toy and treat holder, which I don't have, but on their own they are still perfectly good chews. I also bought this, which is a little log, very similar to the one you can get in Pets at Home, which is the one I used to have, and unfortunately it just kind of wore out, so I had to throw it away. But I bought this to replace it. However, this one is a little smaller than that, I think. So I think Polo would still be a little big for it. So I probably won't be using this one just yet, but I will keep hold of it in case I ever get another robo, which I think this would be the perfect size for. Next up, we have this little hide, which is one of the baseless fruit hides. Next up, we have this, which is, if I turn it around, there you go, it's a little wigwam, which I think is just super cute. Again, it's on the smaller side, so this will probably be going in Polo's cage, but I like this so much I'll probably put this in his cage this time round. And the last thing is kind of wrapped up. Let's see if I can unwrap it with one hand. There we go. So I have a couple of actually I only have one of these bowls. I have the orange one, but as you can see, this is just a little blue polka dot bowl. So I already have the orange one of these, and I thought I would just get another. I kind of have quite a growing collection of food bowls at this point, but I don't really mind. And that is the last thing I bought. So I've also pulled out a bunch of different beddings and things ready, just so I can grab them when I need them. So first up, we have this Megazorb. Now this is a brand new bag. I just ordered this on Amazon. I've only used like a bag of this before. This is only my second one, but I do really like it, and it was kind of just a change from Orbeo's for a bit, so we're sticking with the Megazorb for just a little while. Next up, I have this bag of Carefresh. I bought this recently. I showed it in a haul, I think. I haven't actually opened it yet, but that's there. I'm not sure if I'll use it today. Next up, we have this, which is tea bag bedding. It just comes like this. This is my second bag. You get it in like 2 bags at a time, and I've still got a bunch left, and I bought this, it must have been like almost a year ago now. Like, I've had this a really long time. It's just ripped up tea bag paper. And then the last thing I've got ready is this desert sand. So this is a Pets at Home reptile sand, and it's what I've been using recently. It's a bit more expensive than the children's play sand that I used to use, but I don't have to put it in the oven, which is a bonus to me. So I've been using this for a little bit now. I have just under a whole bag left. I'm hoping that's going to be enough, but I think I might run out. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Polo's cage. I don't think I've made a video with Polo's cage in it since I painted it. So I painted this white just to kind of protect it with white plastic coat, which I bought from Wix. I saw a lot of people were doing this with their wooden cages, and I thought it wouldn't hurt to protect it a little more. The cage looks really nice white. I really do like it. Here's a little look at what his cage looks like now. One of the main problems I've found with the tea bag bedding is that it really does like drop down quite quickly. So it's got like really pressed down, and it's gone to be really shallow, so you do have to fluff it up quite a bit. But that is what the majority of this bedding down here is. I think there might be a bit of Katie Clean and Cozy mixed in. I'm not really too sure. The thing I'm definitely going to be keeping in is this multi-chamber hide. He really likes it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's asleep in there now. But as you can see, it's kind of a really natural look at the moment, which I think I'm just going to go for again. Okay, it turns out I was right about where Polo would be sleeping. He's just inside his little hide down there. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is start by removing some of the things that can be washed. So this is like the plastic wheel, and then there is a ceramic hide back there as well. So now I've just started to remove everything else from the cage, and this is when I'm sorting out the bedding into what is clean and what is dirty. So the dirty stuff is going in the bin, and the clean stuff is going in a little bin cage that also has Polo in it. So this bin here is the Samler bin from IKEA, which used to be Polo's cage before he had the paw hut. So I just kind of kept this around for storage, and then whenever I do cage cleans now, I put the clean bedding in here and also the hamster in here as well. just so I can keep an eye on them, and then they also get to spend all their time in the bedding that smells like them too. Okay, so here is a little update. I thought here would be a good point to show you because I get a lot of questions on like what kind of damage happens to the cage, or if Polo likes to chew it. That is how much damage has happened so far. So as you can see, it's just a little nibble in the corner, and that has been there a couple of months now. The other corner down here is completely fine. And then also I've moved all the bedding out of these corners, and that's also fine, but I do just check it once, like every time I clean it out, so about once a month, just to make sure he's not tunneling out anywhere. So this is the clean Megazorb that is left. So with the Megazorb, I kind of just had to take the top layer off. I also ended up just putting a lot of chews and things I found in the bedding on the top shelf, just to kind of keep them out the way, and I'll kind of come to the top shelf last, I think, and sort that out right at the end. So here is all of the clean bedding. As you can see, it is moving because Polo's in there somewhere. I can't quite see him, but as long as I know he's in there, that's absolutely fine. And this is all the stuff that will be going back in, and it will be kind of mixed in with the new bedding just to kind of spread his scent around. Okay, so now I'm going to start filling back up the cage. So I just cut open the Megazorb, and as it's a brand new bag, it's super difficult to lift and get into the cage. Okay, so here is what all of the Megazorb poured in looks like. So I've almost used an entire bag in here, but that's because I wanted the bedding to be higher, so the drop from the shelf wasn't so large. Okay, so here's just another little update. I've started adding in the tea bag bedding. So first of all, I added in some new stuff fresh from the bag, and then I added in the clean stuff that I put in the sampler bin, and I kind of mixed them all up, and I've just about fit it in. I probably should have put the clean stuff I already had back in first so I could judge the height better, but I think it worked out just fine. Okay, so now I can start adding the accessories into the bottom bit here, and I'm going to start with the sand bath because I find if I don't start with that, it's pretty hard to fit it in. Okay, so here is Polo's fresh sand bath. So I just put sand in a cardboard tray that I bring home from work, and it is the reptile sand in there, and even I've managed to already get it dirty before he's even in it. It looks really nice and clean now, but that won't last for very long. So I kind of have to always put the sand bath in the Megazorb area because the tea bag bedding just isn't like strong enough to hold it. It would just kind of sink in here. So what I do is just dig a little like a rectangle where it will go, and then push it in so it kind of like fits level, making it easier for him to get in and out. And now is the fun bit. I just kind of get to put everything else in wherever I want to. Okay, so this is what I have so far, which I think it looks really nice at the moment. I've scattered around a few chews, so I am super close to being finished. The only thing I have left to do is adding the things I washed earlier. So here are the things I washed earlier. Here is the wheel. Now this was really dirty. I think it's because it was in his sand bath, which does make them really dirty really quickly because sand just gets all up in it everywhere. So I had to give it a really good clean, and it kind of wrecked the sticker at the front. This sticker lasted a really long time. The one on my Syrian sized wheel has been gone for absolutely ages, but I'm not going to pick it all off now. I'll come back and do that later. I also have this ceramic hide here. Now I bought this from a local pet shop, but a lot of people on like TikTok ask me a lot where it's from, and unfortunately they just change their stock all the time, but I do think this one is from Katie, and I think you can get it on Amazon. And then we also have this orange, which was part of the Happy Hamster House stuff that I bought, and I've also washed this up to put it in. And there we are, we have the wheel, the little ear hide, and the orange, which means the cage is all done. I think the last thing I'm going to do is add some forage mix and some millet, and then we'll pop Polo back in. So next up we're moving on to Brick's cage. So this is what it currently looks like. Again, kind of a mess, and the paper based bedding has got really pressed down, kind of the same as Polo's, but a little bit more because Brick's a bit bigger and heavier. You can kind of see the tracks she's been walking in. Okay, so here is Brick's little sampler setup. So we have a couple of toys in here, and then the clean bedding I've taken out. And then this is what's left that needs binning, and Brick is just at the back there. She was sleeping in that little corner. So when she's had a little time to wake up, I'll pop her in the sampler bin. And there she goes. She'll probably dig down a little bit, and she'll just hang out in there while I finish off her cage. So here is the Megazorb I'm keeping. Again, just like I did with Polo's, I've left it in the cage. And then the empty bit up there is where the paper bedding's going to go. Here's a little check-in on Brick. As you can see, she hasn't gone back to sleep. She's still having a little bit of an explore around. Okay, so the sand bath is in. Once again, I've already managed to get bits of bedding in it. And next up, I'm going to add, I think, some of that colourful Carefresh in this little section here, and then put the white bedding back at the end. Okay, so that is the Carefresh I'm going for. Brick's never had Carefresh before, and I don't want it to go too far across because she is a really big burrower. She makes these really interesting tunnel systems, and she's really been liking the T-back bedding to make them, so I'm going to make sure she still has plenty of room for that. I've gone with the bedding pretty high to the top. This will drop quite a bit, like it does, just because it gets compressed, so you have to fluff it up quite a lot. But this is even higher than I went last time, because Brooke hasn't really shown any interest in the lid or anything, so I don't mind going this high just because of how much she likes burrowing. We also have this little tube in here. She loves using this to like kind of start off her entrance, and she likes to like fill it up with stuff. A bunch of chews she shoves in there, so I popped that back in, and now I'm just going to fill up the rest. Okay, so here is the cage all finished. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. I think this looks great. I accidentally got some forage mix in the sand bath, which isn't so great, but I wasn't looking where I was putting it. And I also have these hooks up, but I haven't hung the garland up yet, but I do have an extra chew to add. But we have the water bottle, bowl, and the new food bowl that I bought from Happy Hamster House, new sand bath. And I really like how the Carefresh looks, and then we have those two little tunnels, and I really like how they look, and I think they're going to be super practical too. So the last thing to add is Brick. Okay, so here she is. And she doesn't even want to explore, she's straight to eating the forage mix. And almost instantly, she's gone right to the base of the cage. I don't know if you can see her through there, you can see the bedding moving, but there is a little bit of orange through there, and that is just Brick. So she does absolutely love to burrow. She's just working her way across the base of the cage.